preface this video by saying I love my life. You know, I would never do anything to take it. I've made videos like this, but it's been a while, and I feel like the time is nigh to be talking about this shit. So today we'll be talking about a specific type of people, and these people rule the world, okay? And one of them recently has gotten in trouble, even though they had passed away a long time ago, supposedly. And this person's name starts with J, you know? And J had an island. He had an extravagant island. He had parties all the time. And we got a little something, you know, back, I think, during the holidays. It was the first part. I'm just gonna call it the case, just to be safe. It was the first part of the case. So most of this was scrubbed off and had to be censored and was blacked out. But we still got some information. It was the Michael Jackson, you know, the pictures with him and Jay. And it was so sad. I was like, dang, Michael Jackson. I used to grow up, you know, listening to him. He's one of my favorites. But then you hear a voicemail of him talking to one of his friends or family, where he keeps talking about somebody that's not a part of it, that's bigger than the government, that's rich and powerful, that is evil, and he's talking about them framing or something bad is about to happen. And then, lo and behold, he's unalive. Now him and Jay, their cases back in 2012, I believe, were at the same time. Use your noggins, please. Use discernment during this video to realize the good and the bad. And it doesn't matter which side you're on, it really doesn't. There's people on both sides in this case. So, then we have the Clinton ties, Bill and Hillary Clinton. We had Bill Clinton dressed, he was like in a dress, a blue dress, and then there was another picture of him in the pool. Nothing too strange there. And then we had Bill Gates, along to find out that he was being given these women, and he had Russian women that gave him STI. And then so we got redacted kids, victims. Some were tied up with blindfolds and gagged. It was sick stuff. We had baby massage training for $1,000 a girl auction ties. We had the President of the United States pageant shows that had where he got a kid. I ain't gonna say their age because I feel like, yeah, where he got a kid pregnant who it was not consensual. And then we got Chris Tucker, Ghislaine Maxwell, and the masseuse list. This was the $1,000 girl list. And then we had that the president killed an unborn child. The valet driver heard him talking about this, and apparently that victim was the same age, not a grown-up. Then we had weird writing on the feet pictures, which we know Dan Schneider. We had a letter where somebody was talking about the president and said that they liked nubile young girls, which is sick. We had the president had a flight log of at least 8 times to the island, even though he denies ever going. And it wasn't always there. Sometimes it was at the president's Mar-a-Lago, his little vacation spot. Sometimes it was at this ranch in California. Sometimes it was overseas in some Arab countries where kids are the legal age of consent. It was sick stuff, man. We had Jay's brother, Mark, who blames the president for his brother's murder. Okay, then we have all the CP violent acts, videos of people being unalived were all fully redacted, and so were any that would breach any ongoing investigation. So that's good to know that they're doing ongoing investigations, but we'll have to see like how long that takes. Then we have trafficking and abuse hidden by paying. So yeah, it's all blackmail. They were paying people off to keep this under the rug. And then the last thing from the part one is the structure under the Bermuda Triangle. What could that be? We'll get to that later. I think I know. I think I found out what that could be. This is a three-parter, so now we're on to part two. Okay, so Bill Gates caught the STI. The president has been compromised by a specific country. I ain't even gonna say their name, because shoot, they're Voldemort right now. Elon Musk, Jay-Z, Pusha T, Harvey Weinstein, and Hillary Clinton, all ties. There's gonna be more names. Steph Curry, I don't know if this was the same thing, but he's been funneling tens of millions of dollars to spies of a specific country to start up military tech. It's weird stuff. There were no black women allowed on this island. What the heck? What? You would think people that don't care about age don't care about race, but that is not the case. And they would use this word a lot to call people that weren't their ethnicity like creatures. I don't really know what it means, but they use this a lot, and it just kind of makes you see how sick they were. Wasn't only traffic, it was torture and possibly to being unalived. Because we saw that Jay said that he loved the torture video. What could that mean? And then we have that Jay trafficked at least 3 girls to Elon. The current Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, was a visitor. Prince Andrew tortured a young girl, trafficked by Maxwell. Jay was planning a trip to the president's Mar-a-Lago in 2012, even though he was banned back in 2003. Prince Andrew also had that woman killed. Jay-Z was very tied with Weinstein, and there's proof. Jay was into Five Nights at Freddy's. There's a couple weird ones that I'll say on here that's just weird. Stephen Hawking was a part of orgies. A male victim was by President Bush and witnessed a baby being dismembered limb from limb. What the heck is wrong with these people? Jamie Foxx was trafficked a girl back in 2005. Picture of frozen baby between 2 chickens. Now this was by far one of the most disturbing pictures, and you just see a foot frozen, and it's sick. It was like a foot and a leg. Epstein had ties with all the royal families. He was blackmailing them as well. His web diagram with his inner circle was half redacted. Victims' names were poorly redacted, likely as a purpose to intimidate. The president would host calendar girl parties at Mar-a-Lago where young females were brought by Jay, essayed on stage by the president, then sold to the highest bidder. What the? this is only 3 million out of the 6 million, in the case, because they had to take away all the stuff that I said earlier with ongoing cases. Now, this goes back to the structure under the Bermuda Triangle. The Lifeboat Foundation is something that Epstein had ties to, and it said that they build giant underground cities. They're only the second company that allows wireless money transfers, and there's thought to believe that there's a cloning center with conscious transfers for celebrities down there. I don't know how true that is, and that does sound a little crazy. I feel like they put fake stuff in this case so that they can, disprove stuff and say it was all fake. The Indian Prime Minister sang for a specific country on account for the president. Founders of Bitcoins were friends with Jay and had been to the island. 4chan CEOs were also friends, and a major reason for the president win back in 2016. Sammy Sosa and Les Wexner, big involved, they were hugely involved. Jay's email says, are we going to the PDF convention in Paris with Woody Allen? Jay's relations with XRP discussing ways to weaken the competition. They ate human flesh. A 21-year-old said this one night and she disappeared forever. That same night, Pizzagate. Now this is a theory that's been going on for a while, saying that these elites use code words such as pizza, pasta, beef jerky. They use these so that they don't get caught, and it's a word for kids. Diana Ross, Mick Jagger, Kevin Spacey, Phil Collins, George Lucas, Cameron Diaz, Bruce Willis, Leonardo DiCaprio, Lynn Rothschild, Robert F. Kennedy. You are all part of this. There was mentions of Pokemon Go. There was mentions of Fortnite. They were just microtransactions. He was buying skins and battle passes. Jay's bank account was named after the devil. Epstein was ordered to kill someone who apparently lied, and he went through with it. Minecraft. He was a big fan of Minecraft. He was a big reason for microtransactions. He reached out to Activision saying that they would be addictive for kids. Nicki Minaj mentioned 11 times throughout this. John Podesta making a child call him father while torturing him. Jay wore clown makeup while with a child and while he was doing stuff. Jay, in 2010, sent an email to Princess Sophia predicting that the Saints would win the Super Bowl, and they did. The TMZ founder is a big friend of Jay's. Australia's former prime minister, also ties with Putin. He had a weird quote back in 2011 saying we should explore biological consequences of time travel. Have they had time travel since 2011? Wait, Beyonce kidnapped Sia. Yeah, she's tied to this too. If you think her husband is the only one, you're fool. The Simpsons creators went to the island and were friends with Jay. The president held orgies with kids at a golf course in Rancho, California. The president had dealings with the Somalia cartel. Robert Kraft, who was a friend of Diddy, re-signed from Global MGMT over to Jay. Founder of the Navy SEAL Team 6 held trove of videos of Jay and others with minors, with kids, slicing pizza, email. Your pizza is yummy, yummy. We said this, Pizzagate. The Giants owner was also talking about a young crying girl. And now on for the final part. Now there will be more once the Diddy, case is going through. I feel like there's gonna be a whole list of like actors, actresses, musicians. Jeff is still alive and well, and he's in that country that we don't talk about over here. That where he's still playing Fortnite, he's still living life. There's people that seen him with bodyguards, and I fully believe it. They're gonna try to say that's AI, by the way. They're 100% gonna say that's AI. Kurt Cobain did not commit. It was actually him being unalived, likely by his wife, but who knows. Discord has been turned into spyware. They now want your Face ID and your ID, and they're owned by that country that we don't talk about. Roblox and Disney cruises and child pageant shows are a huge way that these kids are being lured by these weirdos. Mark Zuckerberg is a part of it, which I kind of already figured. Venezuela sends oil to that country for the first time in decades. It's been years. That country got booed at the Olympics, rightfully so. For the last 20 years, LeBron has worked with Jay Schottenstein, the CEO of American Eagle, and one of the biggest donors to Big Ben. And not only that, he talked to a rabbi like days before his big decision to make it to go to the Miami. So it's not just Curry. LeBron is in this too. LeBron, keep the family away. Steph Curry, keep the family away. Jay was known for being really good at taxes, at doing famous people taxes. That's what he was known for. Biden died back in 2019. It was cloned so that the Democratic Party had a chance of winning polls because they knew that Clinton, with her emails, was not going to have a chance. Listen to me. He was cloned. Life Foundation, what we talked about earlier, the Lifeboat Foundation, were cloning people for celebrities. And I think it was Jim Carrey. Okay. Jay had a trap door on his island that led to the ocean. I wonder what he used that for. Jay won the lottery multiple times. Won it. He's rigging it. It's all rigged. The trafficking ring is still going on to this day. The Rothschilds were hunting and killing people. Like it's the book with the people on the island and then the rich people killing the broke people. It's crazy. Tony Hawk got married on the island. Scrubbing mention of the president in these cases daily. They have reduced the amount of times that he is mentioned every day. Jay was a trained spy under the country we don't mention, Prime Minister for years. He's a well-trained spy. Jay wanted everyone on Earth to have his DNA code. I feel like anybody that took that secretly has a part of Jeff's DNA code. And that's crazy to think about. And the last thing was not a part of the files, but it is a part of now. It is a part of now, and it's big. The Super Bowl happened. Robert Kraft, I said, was a part of he's the Patriots owner, and he was in the Super Bowl, and he's also the team that lost. So at least they didn't just give it to them. because that would have been so weird, so sus. But there were two very interesting commercials. There was one that was anti-hating, which, I'm not gonna lie, y'all kind of deserve the hate right now, because you guys think you're the chosen ones. Chosen by who? I feel like y'all chose the wrong God. This is what I feel like. I feel like y'all worship the God of this earth, which anybody should know that is not the creator. That is not the creator of everything good. Now, the last commercial and the last thing we'll talk about is the Ring doorbell camera commercial, saying that if your dog gets lost, that you could put a picture, and that all the Ring doorbells are now interconnected and they can find the description. Yeah, that's not going to be used for dogs for more than 6 months. It's going to start being used for people and criminals and house break-ins, and then it's just going to be used freely by whoever owns Ring whenever the government needs them to hunt somebody down. So yeah, we are officially in 1984, and I guess he was right about that time travel machine, because I'm still trying to learn the biological consequences. But shit, this has been a beautiful video to make, and I really advise you to go look up Blicino, my other channel, where I've made a lot more videos like this. I might start doing this again if you guys really mess with it. And yeah, leave in the comments, what do you guys think should be the consequences of these elite? Like, what should they get? Should it be 30 years in prison? Should they get sentenced to death? What do you think? All right, Blicino out.